Hello! In this video, I'll give you a quick demo of the BizFighter.EXE model, and you'll have plenty of time to explore the company more when you actually get to the class. So in the course, you and your teammates will be running an A&D company in competition with several other teams, and you'll mainly be focused on program level execution as opposed to corporate business decision making. And you'll be running a customized version of BizFighter that we call BizFighter.EXE. During the competition, you'll run a company that has several existing contracts over a multi-year span of time. In each of these years, you walk through a two-step process that you see here on the slide as you make both EAC, estimate at complete, calculations first, and then program and corporate level business decisions secondly. During this time, you're also going to receive information, memos, and correspondence regarding the programs that you have. And you'll have access to stakeholders to get answers to questions you might have as you calculate EAC and as you drive program performance. So at a high level, this is a list of the areas of BizFighter.EXE where you make decisions. Now let's go ahead and take a more detailed look at BizFighter.EXE. And one detail that you notice, we transported you to the year 2021 as the first year of the competition. And we do that so that you don't get too wrapped up in the specifics of today's market environment. No one's sure what 2021 will look like, so you need to accept what BizFighter.EXE tells you it will look like. Okay, step one of the process. At the start of each year, you and your teammates are going to, as I mentioned before, complete an EAC for each of your contracts. And you'll complete this EAC step before you make any execution decisions for your programs. So what you do as you get into each of your programs and adjust the EAC, I just click the arrow. And for each of the programs, you see the tabs along the bottom, and these are based on the real-world tool. They're a subset of the pages in the real-world workbook. If you're at all rusty on using an EAC tool, you might want to go back and review that because we're not really going to teach it during the class. And if I click on the tabs, I'm presented with the data for that part of the EAC tool, and I can change any field that's in blue. So I could change my estimate to complete. I could put in a new risk or opportunity if I click on the tab. Again, entering data into the blue fields. And the other fields are self-calculating when I click the Calculate button. If I close out, in every round, as I mentioned, you'll be given new information on your contracts in the form of printed memos, and you can read, discuss, and analyze the data and information with your teammates. Then, based on your analysis of that data, you can input your EAC adjustments into the tabs I just mentioned. And then you can review, obviously here on the home screen, the overall performance of your programs. And you're going to need to complete that step for all of your programs before you make your execution decisions. And once you submit your EACs, you will not be able to change them. However, you can go back and view the data that you've entered. So step two is going to be your company and program execution decisions. And you'll click here on the BizFighter logo to go to the banner screen for execution, and you'll access the main areas of your business by clicking through these blue circles. For example, operations reviews, HR reviews, and workforce planning, etc. And in the middle, you can see your staff loading by year, and you can actually get back to your EAC if you'd like to review it. And notice if I click on business development, that this dialog box comes up because in this version of BizFighter, your job is execution, not bidding and business development. But let's start by clicking here at 12 o'clock in the strategic dialog circle. And you can see your current competencies in key areas of your business at a corporate level. And you can refer to the case study guide for more details on all of these points. But if I wanted to increase my competency, I just click a radio button in this case, click, And I can see that my competency will go up next year. It takes a year, in the year 2022, and that I've spent some money to develop that competency. Is that a good idea or not? Well, it's up to you based on your company's strategy and what's important to you. And in BizFighter.EXE, you are limited in the number of competencies that you can invest in, and you see that over here. So in the tool, you enter your decisions into white fields, or you click radio buttons, as you can see, and there are sliders as well within the tool, but the other data is self-calculating based on your decisions. And if I go back home and I go down to 7 o'clock over here in strategic supply chain, I could work with my suppliers. I can invest efforts with them to improve their competencies, delivery, and quality, which are very important, obviously, in driving costs and schedule on your programs. At 2 o'clock here in operations reviews, I have 3 existing programs in the list. The EAC is locked on this program. I had set that previously, but if I want to, I can click through the tabs at the top, bidding details and decisions, which are really informational, but I can look at ongoing decisions. Let's say internal meetings, I can move a slider to increase those. I can update the results. I could increase or decrease my technology that I offer on this program. Again, update results, see what the results of that are. In scheduling, I can make schedule changes. By cost account, moving a slider. I can make these decisions and see the results in the financial summary and some of the other tabs you see across the top of the screen as well. And you can look at these more during the class. And at the very top of the screen, you can see the cumulative cost and schedule performance indicators, not just for this year, but cumulative over the years that this program is running. And on the HR screen, I can manage my workforce. You can hire engineers and other staff either immediately or to start in 12 months. And you can see at the bottom of this screen the resources that you'll need for next year. You can also do morale boosting to improve your employer of choice and employee satisfaction score as well. And if I go back home and click at 6 o'clock here on the annual operating plan, I get some information about the forecasted performance based on the decisions that I've made. And we'll go through these metrics during the class. I should mention too that if you hover over any field that has one of these red triangles in the corner, it will give you a more detailed description of what that metric or line item is. And I don't make any specific decisions on this AOP screen, but I can see my equity, dividends, working capital policy, and having made all of your decisions across the business or at any point, I can see a pro forma income statement and a balance sheet. I can also access these from the home screen if I click on corporate performance. Okay, that's a quick introduction to BizFighter.EXE. You've heard about what needs to be done, so now it's time to do it. Thanks a lot, and we look forward to seeing you there.